tell y'all the bad news about what was going on in court and with the children and things of that nature. So I feel like it's only fair that I do come and tell y'all the good news and positive things that's happening. And I went to court not too long ago, probably like a week or so back, and waited tremendously long, like usual, for it to start. They had to speak to somebody on my behalf to confirm what I don't know. I guess this guy was trying to make it seem like I was incapable of, like I was delusional. You understand what I'm saying? But what I want to know is a couple of things. So they had to talk to somebody on my behalf about, my mental capabilities. A, I just want to point out that I have a college degree. B, I also want to point out that I'm only 10 credits shy from getting my bachelor's degree. Just want to put that out there for all the people who try to associate mental illness or whatever with mental retardation. I'm mentally ill, baby. I'm not mentally retarded. I got straight A's from pre-K all the way up to college. When I was in college, I was on the dean's list every time report cards came out. I was on the dean's list. No, I didn't go to Harvard. No, I didn't go to Columbia, even though I always wanted to go to Columbia. I wanted to go to Columbia so bad. But I used to go to the parties in Columbia because Columbia used to be quiet as kept. Those nerds know how to party, honey. Columbia threw some of the best parties. If you know, you know. 116th Street, Broadway, Columbia College, doing some of the best parties. These nerds knew how to party, okay? So anyway, yeah, honey, when I didn't go to pre-K because my mom asked me did I want to go or did I not want to go. And I was just like, I was a mama's baby all the time. Since I was a little girl, I was up under my mama's breasts. And I was just like, if that means I gotta leave you, then it's a no for me, dog. My mom has always been very cautious. So I didn't do Head Start either. But then again, it wasn't really no need to because my mom was at home, so I didn't really need to do all that, It was the 90s, early 90s. So anyway, I didn't start school to pre-K. I mean, to kindergarten. And most of the kids in my class had already did Head Start in pre-K. And in kindergarten, I read on a 3rd grade level. This is in kindergarten, by the way. I just want to put this out here for all people who's trying to make it seem like I'm mentally incapable, blah. I don't know. I think I told him this story, but it was with him being an egomaniac. I'm sure anytime I started talking about myself, I'm sure he probably was somewhere in La La Land. But yeah, in kindergarten, I read on a 3rd grade level. In 3rd grade, I read on an 8th grade level. In 5th grade, I read on the 12th grade level. Okay, I just want to put that out there. In kindergarten, they would take me around the school. I would go into 3rd grade classes and teach 3rd graders how to tie their shoe. And I also would I would also read to them. They would say, I guess they would try to make the 3rd graders feel bad for not reading well and for not trying to read well. So they would try to get me to come. They'll come down to my class and get me just to mock them, make them feel bad. And then they'll give me, have me sit in the front of the class and make me read books that were on 3rd grade level to them. Which I did, and I tied a lot of shoes. And, they were just trying to make the kids feel, pathetic so they could, step their game up. So that's what I used to do. I graduated valedictorian from my elementary school. if that counts. And I'm just trying to let you know, hey, I ain't never been dumb, baby. I ain't a dumb bone in this body. So, but now that we're talking about mental illness or whatever, when does being a drug addict, when does that, I feel like that should be considered a mental illness. Because whenever you're out here doing things that are harmful to self, kind of like cutting, there's a word for it, self-mutilation, when you're cutting yourself. So when you're out here doing drugs, you're out here smoking meth, you're out here doing crack, oh my gosh, now that I think about it, this guy doing dope, shooting stuff in your arms, pretty much because all you can really do when you're on dope is be sleep all day. So to me, that is obviously showing that you don't like yourself very much, and it's kind of showing signs of suicidal ideation. Because why else would anybody want to be asleep all day? Unless you're depressed or you have suicidal idealization. Because why else would you want to be nodding off in a whole nother world all throughout the day? Because all you can do on the dope is be about half sleep all throughout the day. Believe me, as a New Yorker, I know a whole lot about dope fiends. They be on a train nodding. They be down the street by the, pole nodding. But people always do hard drugs in small towns because it'd be boring. It'd be boring in small towns. There don't be nothing else to do. You gather with your friends, and that be it. And I always realized that I always do my best, and I always seem to be my most successful in New York. And you want to know why? Because New York is not a very codependent place. You know what I mean? It's so many things for you to do by yourself that you don't really need to have people around you to have fun. Whereas down here, it's the opposite. Like if you don't have any friends down here, or you don't know anybody down here, you'll be bored boots. But in New York, you can get up, you can go down the street, you can go to the park, you can go shopping. As long as you got a check, honey, you can go to the store and buy things. And honey, you can go stop and get some good food. You can stop and get pizza or get, sandwiches or get whatever, pasta, whatever. Jamaican food, Trinidadian food, Spanish food. You can stop and get whatever. And that be your whole day. You don't need to hang out with Tanisha. You don't need to be hanging out with Talisha. You don't need to hang out with Tarisha. Once you go outside and you go run your errands, go sit at a park, go get something to eat, go shopping, honey, that's your day. You don't really need to be around nobody to do all that kind of stuff. I mean, it'll be more exciting if you did have somebody with you, but you don't necessarily need people with you to do things in New York, And when you have people around you, people drag you down, When you live in a place where you have to be around people just to enjoy yourself, you usually always end up messed up because, people drag you down. You can come up with a great, bright idea or tell somebody that you have a goal that you want to achieve or you want to do this or do that, and a person will talk you down. Like, well, how you going to do this? How you going to do this if you do that? How you going to do that if you do this? And how you going to do it? Like, before you know it, you don't even want to do it no more. They discourage you. Whereas if you're in a place where you're independent, you can just do it like Nike. Then you have nothing but opportunity and resources around you. So whatever bright idea you already have the things around you to get it done. I always find myself doing my best in New York because I don't need to be around people. I don't need a ride. I have the train. I don't need to ask nobody for a ride nowhere. I can always get on public transportation, And then you don't really necessarily get lonely because even though you don't know these people and you can't really talk to them personally, you're still surrounded by people, So, it's kind of like you got company even though you don't really have company, So, yeah, I always tend to do better in New York, On top of that, the rent is very expensive, so I always be in grind mode. I got to get this money. It motivates you. Things being so expensive keep you on your toes. It keeps you hustling and keeps you going. But the idle mind is a devil's playground. So with things being so expensive, you gotta get it. You gotta get it. You gotta get it. You can't take a break. 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 You gotta get this money. You know what I mean? So it keeps you eager. It keeps you inspired. It keeps you on your toes. And see everybody around you hustling, getting money. It keeps you inspired. It keeps you wanting to get money. Seeing other people get money make you want to get money. So yeah, I always do my best up there. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out when are we gonna stop looking at people that have mental illness like they the ones that are crazy, and start looking at people that shoot poison in their veins, that'll sit there and do something that they know might have fentanyl in it. Is that not committing suicide? When you buy a drug and you know it might have something that'll take you off the map in it, is that not committing suicide? Is that not crazy? So when are we going to start looking at people that do drugs like as if they're not as mentally unhealthy as somebody who was diagnosed with a mental illness? Okay. Long story short, this guy didn't come to court, which was a blessing. And I believe he didn't come to court because the last time we were at court, I made it my business to, after he got on the stand and badmouthed me and talked about me so bad, they were just going to dismiss it and, wait till next time. And I was like, no, test him today, They test me every day across the hall. And I ain't never had a dirty drug test, so I think he can go across the hall and get drug tests now. And my lawyer didn't even say anything about that, which I felt like something that he should have mentioned. But I have a public defender, so I'm not tripping. That's what happens when you don't pay for your own lawyer. You got to kind of lawyer for yourself, Thank God I'm not an idiot. So I had them send him down the hall to get tested. I believe that he know for a fact that, for actual factual, that he's going to come back positive. And at this point in time, he's probably embarrassed. And that's why he didn't show up in court last month. Which was good for me, At the end of the day, I don't really have any problem with him. My issue with him is, if you don't want the children, then don't want the children. But, I don't know. Go somewhere. Go do something with yourself. Mom, go mind your business. Don't try to keep me from getting the children. You understand what I'm saying? Don't interfere with what I'm doing. Don't make it harder for me. Do what all the other deadbeats do and just go be a deadbeat. But then certain people, they try to save face. Not every man is comfortable with just admitting that he's a deadbeat dad. So he'll try to do little things here and there, and usually it's probably about their new girlfriend. Look at me. I'm a good dad, though. Anyhow, if you don't want the children, so be it. Go smoke your little kneecaps off. And your elbows, too. Don't interfere with what I'm doing. So I'm not trying to shame you. But, I'm with you when you're right. That was the right thing to do. For you just not to come. So, because he didn't come, I actually made some space in the case or whatever. I've gotten my children to, I should be able to see my children without anybody sitting here shadowing me and watching me and looking over me. Some part of me feel like they don't want me to be around my children by themselves. They want me to be able to, because I feel like my son had a knot on his head. And now that my oldest son is getting older, he can pretty much talk. You know what I mean? Because for the most part, he's just as smart as I was when I was his age. And this lady had the nerve and said that she thought he was autistic. And I'm like, autistic how? He's a freaking genius, if you ask me. But they say autistic people are geniuses, but But he also don't have social skill issues neither, because he's always talking to people when we go to the park and Burger King or wherever we go. He's always making friends. So, but unlike some of these people who aren't as bright, I don't just take the doctor's word for everything. You have to act. I will get a second and third and fourth opinion. Like, I'm that kind of person. You can't. I don't just take the one doctor's opinion at face value. I don't mind going to get another opinion. So anyhow, that was positive. I prayed on it. And I prayed on it, So things went well. God is good. I fasted and prayed. Just want to put that in there. I fasted and prayed on the situation. So now I should be able to see them unsupervised. I was supposed to see them yesterday. And hopefully we'll go from unsupervised to a little more than that. And then eventually they should be coming on home. Because in reality, they don't really have any reason to not come on home, I was having a lot of financial issues just leading up to that court date. And that's why I put on there and I posted on there, for you guys to help if you can financially. Because I feel like the closer I get to getting the boys back, the more and more they've been trying to push for me to pretty much end up homeless. Because I had my lawyer ask me, oh, well, you have all your stuff together and everything, and you're doing well in your probation and stuff like that. And he's like, what about housing? And I was like, what about housing? I'm not homeless yet. I have somewhere to stay. And I feel like they constantly keep finding reasons to come over here and pop up over here, like you're trying to confirm and make sure that I have somewhere to go. You understand what I'm saying? I just keep trying to move the goalposts and keep trying to find reasons not to give me my children back. But I'm just trying to stay focused and keep doing what it is I'm doing. And I really appreciate y'all. If you did pray for me, I thank you. God bless you. And like I said, I didn't want to come and just, always be spewing negativity. That's the devil's work. You got to give God praise, lift his name on high, testify, that he does work. Because these demons out here, I'm telling you, they don't want you to believe in God. They don't want you to believe in God. They don't want you to believe that he does what he's supposed to do, as long as you do what you're supposed to do. And a lot of these people, they don't want to stop sinning, to be all the way honest with you. They want to be able to get God's blessings, but they want to still live the way they want to live and do what they want to do. And be outside the same way they outside. So instead of them doing what they're supposed to do, they rather try to convince everybody, oh, well, he's not real. No, God is very real. He's been very real to me. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't just come on here always talking about, well, somebody's bothering me, my feelings hurt, And, because I feel like when people look, I feel like people at least look, I don't want to say look up to me, but people look to me for certain things, so like I said, I try to come on here and keep everybody lifted up, as well as just venting sometimes, because sometimes you just got to come on here and vent. But if you want to tell people that positive things can't happen, it's still hope. Stay hopeful, man. Most of all, stay close to the cross. Amen. Like I said, share and subscribe. I'm trying to treat this like a real YouTube page now, and not just get on here and just vent and say crap and not, And if you can help me, you can hit me on my Cash App. I'll put my Cash App in the link description. It don't gotta be no big sum of money. Whatever you can give, I'll accept, and I'll take it, and I appreciate it. And hopefully I'll be in a situation soon where I can donate back or whatever. But be cool, y'all. Like I said, stay lifted, stay positive, stay focused, stay aware. Don't sleep. You will get beat. There's too much going on out in the world. Please don't be out here pretending like real stuff not happening, because it is. You be out here trying to pretend like real stuff not happening, you will end up perishing. Okay, don't be so worried about trying to look good in front of people. So worried about being embarrassed in front of other people that you end up dead. Because you forget about being embarrassed in life. You ain't gonna have no life at all if you don't stay on point. So, like I said, be blessed, everybody. Love ya. I feel like I came on here to